Remember that this is the most classic way we start a yoga practice, seated upright, some form of meditation practice, intention, presence are two of the big ones, concentration, controlling your attention, connecting to your body, connecting to your breath. And something we don't do enough in these classes, yogis, is chanting or oming. Let's do 3 ohms to start practice. Remember, energetically, you're vibrating the chakras and the vibrational cleanse through the body. And on a more just kind of anatomical level, remember the vagus nerve, it's innervating like, the whole throat, the heart, the lungs, the digestive tract, even all the fascia, right? Stimulating your vagus nerve is really good for relaxing you. So we vibrate with the 3 parts. The ah is a little lower, the o is a little middle, and the is the head, okay? So if you'll join me, please remember we elongate the sound after a deep inhale. So it is a breathing exercise. Start with a big inhale. Big exhale first. All right, big inhale. Work on feeling the quality of the 3 different vibrations. Inhale. One more, yogis. Just sit and feel the vibration for a moment. Starting with the seated cat-cow, hands on knees, however you're seated. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the chin, arch the back. Exhale, you can hold the knees, the shins, as you tuck it round slightly. Okay, inhale, exhale. Get into it. Something you do all the time, right? You guys are experts at your cat-cow. Now trying to do it in a different position. Take your time, just like cat-cow goes into circling. You can switch the crossing of your legs if you'd like. I start to draw circles with the core. So it's kind of movement practice. Might be a little restricted, but shouldn't be too difficult. As you can see here, I'm finding that cow. I kind of go to the side, finding that cat, side, cow, okay? Last few, and if you'd like to circle more with the upper body, that also can do what we're doing because it'll create back bend, side bend, forward bend, side bend. Next opening movement here, yogis. No rush getting there. I'm just moving through some basics. Hands behind you, feet wide. Start to rotate those hips. Start to pivot and move on the glutes. If you want more, left arm around, left arm back, right arm around. This is a big movement, yogis, especially if you have back pain. You know, be easy. You know, if you have back pain, you're just kind of in the hips to start. Maybe kind of sitting up, turning a little, not really swinging the arm around. Think of it like you're dancing on your butt here a little bit, right? You're kind of moving. Look how I can forward fold. Look at me here. Look how the feet and knees are kind of wide and separate, right? Look at this one. Turn a little bit more back. It's almost like I'm doing a push-up now, going down behind me. If you want to see from the side, feet are wide, knees knock left, little push-up behind me. It's kind of a warm-up. All right, meet seated here, no rush. Maybe roll out your wrists, shake them out, give them a little compression. So you squeeze your wrists. All right, so instead of starting in front body plank, back body plank is the weight bearer today. We've done this quite a few times, yogis. It's been a while since we started like this. I always do the up table early. If you can't do this right now, do bridges. I will give modifiers. You can do it all on your back, okay? But if you're up for it, here we go. Fingers behind you. Let's tighten up that back body. After the big spinal rotations, hip rotations. Lift the hips. Just tap the butt. And get one nice round in here. You know, 6 to 20. Maybe pausing. We will hold this posture. So a little bit more movement maybe early. It's kind of a strong start, right? Now, right? So it's okay. You can do bridges. Okay, if you are on your back, you could do this to warm up the front to start. Or if you are upright with me, just a short, light boat pose here. Remember, we don't want to round the spine. We want to try to lift the chest, get on the front of the sit bones. Pull the belly in. If you're feeling good, straighten the legs. Nice job. One more table here. Then we'll take 2 stretches. Hips lift. Maybe you can drop your head back. It's like a back bend, right? The boat was like our plank, and this is kind of like our cobra. It's shortening the back line. And if you let the head fall back, it's like lifting your chin in cobra. You know, these are the patterns we do in exercise yoga all the time. It's just done in a different way, right? All right, big inhale. Take it slow. Drop down the butt, right leg forward, left heel outside, a gentle twist to the left. I have my forearm wrapping around the shin. You know, you could go outside, but it's early, yogis. So you might take it a little different. My right forearm is around outside my left shin and my knee. My left hand can take a little grip here, help me sit up and turn. I'm looking over the left shoulder. Looking over the right shoulder. Okay, go slow, left leg release, right heel outside. Just in case now you get a different view here. Gazing over the back shoulder. Breathing. Gazing over the front shoulder just to open up the neck. Okay. Next exercise here is the legs forward. Now, if your back hurts, knees bent more. If you're feeling good, legs straight. Maybe a few up downs in the posture. It's kind of like Ardha Uttanasana to Uttanasana, or down dog to Uttanasana, right? So instead of always just holding, maybe kind of going in and out of the posture here. Maybe holding. Sorry, I forgot to give modifiers for the back. You could have twisted on your back, right? Knee across the body or knees across. And here on the back, you can do happy baby. It's basically the same. Just in case you're on your back, there's basically a way to do this entire flow on your back. All right? All right, let's get back to that foundational pose here. Up table, round 3. Remember, holding the basic is more than enough, yogis. If I start to add something, skip it if it's too much, okay? Hips lift, right foot in the center, left knee in, okay? It's kind of like the knee to forehead, but here. Inhale, exhale. Chest lifts, head back, leg forward, exhale, chin tucks. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last few on that side. If you're on your back, you could do a little one-legged bridge or just stay with your normal bridge. Left foot down, right foot lifts, please. As you inhale and straighten that right leg forward, your hips have to lift, right? It's just like extending the spine when you're on the knee, the arm, and then exhale, the spine kind of rounds as the knee and the forehead come forward. Then the hips lift, leg goes forward. It's a tough one. Make sure you're pressing the left foot down here, yogis. The left foot can do weird things. The hands can do weird things. All right, take your time. Meet in the seated position. Give the wrists a break. I love this exercise. I want to start mixing it in class more. It's really excellent for all levels, and it's really effective. So we're on the outer edge of the shin, knees come together, outer edge of left shin, let's warm up that side body. Little modified side plank. You can do full side plank if you're ready. Hips forward, maybe top leg lifts. Top arm can reach even forward if you'd like. Just remember, yogis, I don't want my butt sticking behind me. It's like I'm in bridge, the hips are going forward. Just a couple breaths. Okay, go slow, please. Second side. Notice if you're like too heavy in the knee, and you can press like that outer right shin and foot down a little bit more. And notice how that shifts you into a different glute activation. It's always good to, like I try to say, explore how you're activating the body. You got to close your eyes, yogis, and step into that moment. Really connect and be present with yourself. That makes a good exercise great. When the neuropsychological intention is set, and then the action of that intention combines with it, right? Intention alone is not enough. We need to actually act on our intention. All right, get out of there. Shake it out a little bit. Feet go wide. So I want to get you back to movement now. This is a big one. Start slow, okay? Sit up tall. Arms up, inhale. Right hand behind. Left hand toward right foot. I'm going to do the dynamic today. Don't worry, we're gonna stretch enough. Inhale, arms up. So try to have this be like an active moment where your legs are active, your chest is lifting, right hand left. Inhale. Right hand goes kind of behind, you see that? Inhale, nice active center, legs engaged, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Get into it, yogis, kind of close your eyes and feel it all. You know, when in doubt, just don't reach far and just take it really slow. You know, further range is more risky, right? Especially if you do faster in further range. You know, fast and small range isn't that risky, really. But if we combine further range with speed, going in and out of like a depth of a complex range, your body's twisting and bending over, your legs are in a very tense length, and you know, just be easy now. We're getting into more ranges. And then take the static stretch, yogis. Let's open up the inner thighs by just going a little forward. I like to remind you that this is like a cobra. So a beginner in cobra doesn't create spinal length, doesn't activate their legs, and doesn't, you know, and rounds the spine, right? And the shoulders are up. So what does the more seasoned practitioner do? They activate their legs. See the legs activate? And the hands pull, create length. The legs activate, we create length, and then the shoulders start to go back and down more. And you're gonna feel this nice traction and pull in the inner thighs from underneath the glutes. Last few breaths. All right, so we're starting with extra tables today. Let's keep going. You got about 2 more rounds of table to go here. Well, if you're doing one leg, it's more like 3, okay? So this is the funky one. I'm gonna ask you to try to move in your table. You're not used to this. Just go slow. Easiest is forward and back, and then side to side, and then turning, and then complex. So I'm gonna get you up. We call this the crab walk, right? This is fitness 101 here, guys. We're gonna lift the hips. Now watch what I do. Left foot forward, right hand forward, right foot, left hand. Uh-oh. I'm gonna try this kind of more complex challenge on the body. Okay, I'm gonna go back and forward a few times. Look at my hands could turn out a little bit. I do have to grip my fingers, right? Okay, that's pretty tough. And then I go a little side to side, which means my feet widen, my hands widen, and then I go back. Challenging class right now. Okay, getting weird. Now the other challenge would be kind of turning around, right? So now I'm turning to the opposite side of my mat. So this is the 3rd challenge in the walk. Okay, and you can take a rest, yogis. I get it. Your triceps, your shoulders are lighting up here. Then I turn back around the other side. So there's your 3rd challenge. And then it's just kind of like to walk around here in a lot of complex ways. You know, you kind of put it all together with less structure. Last moments here, guys. That's a tough one. Normal bridge is totally adequate, right? If you're staying with linear therapeutics, I'm getting you going here a little bit today. Weird practice. All right, so you're good there. You take a little breather. I think that was long enough to get some good challenge. And we got one more big ab thing going on here, okay? I'm just gonna do the nice classic kind of sit up boat. So I'm gonna come back to my 2nd round of my high boat, and I'm gonna inhale really slow to low boat, resist the down, exhale back up, okay? Remember that the going down is the work to slow it down. If you need a little bit, if you need easier, you know, you could do this again. Inhale, exhale, get those abs going, guys. So a couple big strengtheners, front and back body. Now we're going to do this stretch. This is one of the biggest side stretches in yoga. I really haven't taught it that much, but I do it a lot. Easier. It's kind of like you're going into side plank, but you keep your hips down. This is easier, right? Hips down. I'm lifting my ribs, chest kind of up, and the side body's lengthening. Here's the full pose. Right hand under right shoulder. My right hand is kind of angled forward and open. My left hand's in front of me for stabilization. I engage my legs and I pull my right ribs up from my right hip. This is a very big stretch. Deep breath. You kind of like drop into it a little too, right? You got to feel it. Okay, go slow. You kind of roll back to your buttocks. Nice different view here for second side. Remember, it's side body, so you don't want to be rounding. My chest is up. Lengthening my left underarm ribs from the left hip. Deep breathing. Easier is here. Yeah, legs are stacked, knees are stacked. So you're not rolling back either. You're really in the side body here. There's many ways to do it. So, it's kind of like Cobra, but on the side, right? Hips are down, legs are down, active, but upper body is lifting but laterally. Everyone feel that? That's a big stretch right there. Man, you're tight right here. It's hard to get a better release than that. It's not the easiest place to foam roll either, like right there on the waist, okay? Let's keep going, guys. All right, so these two just go together. This final stretch in this form here. Left ankle to top right knee, figure 4. Now, I'll give you the option to stay here because we've been doing a pretty good amount of bridge tables, but if you want to go for it, and one more opportunity for that thrust, those glutes, fingers forward, flex left foot, press through right foot. It's the figure 4 table. My right foot's got to position skillfully, right? Grip the fingers, lift the hips. Now listen, guys, I lift my left hip as I drop my left knee down. So my left hip wants to dip with the knee, but I lift the left hip up against the knee opening. Okay, go slow. When you're ready, let's switch sides. Woo, tough practice right now, right? Just more because it's like awkward and outside your comfort zone. It's easier for people to do stuff they're comfortable with that's intense than it is to do mediocre challenge in awkward outside comfort, right? So let's do that second hip thrust if you're going to do it. Figure 4. Remember, flex your right foot and press that right foot down into the knee. The biggest thing I see people doing is they're not activating with enough like full body integrity in poses. Like feet are always lazy. Hands are always lazy. I mean, and that's what's against the ground. I keep saying grip the hands and like activate the feet. That stabilizes all the joints and it's more intelligent body function if you're weight bearing, right? So got to activate, yogis. You can relax more once you're good at activating it. Okay. I know the goal of yoga poses is to relax, but that's context. That's not for a beginner. You don't teach a beginner to relax and chair pose. Someone doesn't, energy, activate, okay? All right, get out of there. Shake it out, please. I got to remember what was next. Well, I remember we were going to do a stretch, so I thought we'd just skip right to that last stretch here, guys. It's that Virasana. Top of the right foot down. We're taking care of most of our stretches, right? Straddle, Vira, figure 4. hamstrings, quads. We're like done almost there. So I lean back a little bit, guys. Press the top of the ankle down. Maybe go back a little further. Just a few breaths. Second side. Just remember that the top of the foot is down, yogis. So remember, you can do inner edge of the foot. Once you're an expert, I bring the top of the foot down. Get out of your patterns and the body's programmed condition and create a new condition with intention. You know, we don't only do that with the body. You know, we reprogram our body's conditions and situation with our own intention based on our desires and goals. We do it with the mind too. You know, in yoga, we're trying to recognize the mental preconditioned cognitive commitments and the dogma and breaking down the subconscious program and pattern and create the new one via our own vision, not somebody else's anymore. We do it with the emotions too, because we get emotionally programmed. You know, that's what happens in yoga. When you get initiated, you get a new name because it's like you're a new person. You have a new body that you created, a new mind, and new emotions. So they give you this new name that represents your new identity. All right, yogis, so that's pretty good there. Let's make our way. If you want to do a little yogi squat, I'm going to get you to down dog. I want a frontal inversion, like a long hold. Down dog, easiest child pose, strongest headstand or handstand. Let's get to it when you're ready. I'm going to give you a good 2 to 3 minutes because we're not going to be in this space too much today, okay? Hips up and back, palms pressed down. So if you're feeling good, no reason to wait. We're pretty warmed up in a sense, right? We're halfway through class. So headstand, if you're feeling up to it, or handstand at the wall, but no big deal. You need a little easier pose, half dog. Some people call it puppy on a hatha, child pose, right? We did a lot in that first sequence. Go back to your breathing, yogis. It's a comfort pose now. You're back in your comfort zone, relaxing, soothing the body, calming your mind after those mental challenges. I forgot to say, yogis, we had power outage this morning twice. Our power went out, and then it came back on, and then it went back out again. Luckily, it came back on again about 8, but just in case, if I get shut off, I'll try to get back on with my phone or something, right? Last couple breaths, stay with it if you can, right? So it is a long hold. Yeah, some of you are doing chaturangas, that's cool. Some of you is taking your own posture completely. Nice. Now I want to do a stretch for the body, the front hips, because up table, most of us can't get into a big hip extension, posterior tilt. You're not going to release hip flexors. We did a lot on the wrist, so I'm going to bring you to camel today. I'm going to do 2 rounds here, just kind of get into them hip flexors, kind of open up right here, right? And kind of stretch out the front body. So it is a beginner posture. It's just like Cobra. Hands flip on the hips. What I don't want to see is here. This is what I said most people have trouble getting out of. All right. We're trying to bring the tailbone down through the legs and the hips forward. Hands face up on the hips. If you have a tight back, this one's tough. You got to really relax into it slow, yogis. All right. Press the hips down and forward slightly. Lift the chest up. Let's breathe. Remember, your knees are about a foot apart. They're actually pretty wide to start. Your feet are actually a little closer together, angled in slightly. You know, eventually you put your hands on blocks and your heels, but you know, not every day. My back's tight. Did 4.5 hours of massage yesterday in 2 classes. I'm like, my back's all tight. Being bent over the massage table does that often. And, you know, I'd be back bending soft in stretch form. Okay. So take a little breather here, guys. Now you can feel free to do a nice linear camel again. I do want to mix in some more dynamic movements each class. So it's like dynamic camel. Your knees are apart, your feet are a little closer together. Now you could kind of go into camel, more towards child, camel, child pose. You could start to get really complex where I start to swing the arm around across. My right arm swings, my left arm goes behind me. It is nice to have blocks here. So it's kind of like this side bendy, almost twisty camel. It's like a flip dog, right? Left arm around and up and over. That's what it feels like to me, like a flip dog. So if I were to put my hands on blocks, it just makes my arms longer, right? I can get a really nice stretch in there. And I kind of go up and around, and I'm kind of, see how I'm slowing down, feeling the space, yogis? See how the left hand goes behind, I kind of reach, and it's almost like a side bend start from a twist, and then it's a back bend. Or you're just working a nice linear camel. You can put your hands on blocks behind you. Let's give you another minute here to have a little fun in your body. Everyone feel how that it kind of feels like a flip dog pose, right? You're kind of like up and over and a slight back bend twist. There's days for very linear movements and there's days for very complex stuff. What kind of day you have, and that's the intention you're setting. And then the actions lined with the intention. That doesn't mean that you lock to it either, though. Like maybe mid-class, you're like, ooh, I feel a little bit better. Maybe you will change your intention at that point. You know, intention also can be a trap. You know, if you're too kind of rigid in the mind, you know, you set this intention, and then years later, you still have this, you're evolving your intention based on the present. All right, so nice job there, guys. Let's come back to down dog. I'm not even gonna have you hold a plank. If you want to do it now would be a good time. If you wanted to lift a leg or something, we're not doing any of that here today. If you want to do any of that, you basically took care of all this stuff. You weight bear on your arms behind you a lot today, right? And you did a low boat and a high boat. You kind of go to knot space. Camels are like cobras. So eventually, looks like some of you is already there. We're going to walk our feet to the front of our mat. We've already touched our toes, so I will not hold you there. I do want to get a good chair pose in. In yoga, we call it chair, and squat, you know, it's squatting. So a nice chair pose, you can do a little bounce just to really bear weight in those legs upright. So it's a linear bent knee, lean back, right? Because I'll tell you, next posture is Warrior 3. Couple foundational postures after the weird stuff. So it's bent knee, lean back. Warrior 3 is straight leg, asymmetrical lean forward. They're very contrasting poses. You're still going to be in hip flexion in these, but they go really good together. All right, so sit really low, reach really high. Okay, and then go slow, stand up. If you want a shoulder stretch, you could go here. Easier is hands on the hips. Yogis, I don't like to teach hands on the hips a lot because people do this stuff. You know how people stand around like this? You gotta be careful there, right? It's not a very good habit. So hands can go on hips, but you're still active, okay? If you want to do a little arm opener here, we did a lot back here. You could do a nice eagle arms, right? Let's go here if you're gonna try it. Left arm under right, intertwine your forearms, left knee lifts, and let's hinge. Let's get that nice warrior 3 in today. So as you can see, this is part of our balance. Don't forget advanced versions. That top foot's got to activate, yogis. Everyone, I didn't get it for years either. I had trouble activating my back top foot here for years, but now it's like automatic. I don't really do it without activating the foot anymore. It's creating new intentions and then aligning the actions with the intentions. Focus and concentrating your attention on your intentions in the moment. Remembering. Okay, so nice job there. Looks like some of you are done. Go to your edge and your challenge today. Okay, we've already done quite a bit of strengthening. Let's come back up. Right arm under left. If you're doing the eagle, it's a nice upper back kind of spreader here after having those arms behind you like that. Tight, 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 tense. Now stretch. Okay, right foot hovers. Remember, if your right foot's lifting, you have your right arm underneath. All right. You can do it both ways. Not a big deal. We're not in rotation, right? So it's not half moon. Unless you're doing that on purpose, that's fine. But that's the same thing, compensation, more intention, right hip down. That's what alignment is. It's like, can I have more intelligent intention? Or is my body just flopping into spaces? Come on now, this is work, yogis. Last Thursday, we did that Iyengar class. We held, what, 6 or 7 poses only, and we did repetition. They were all just fundamentals, right? And then Saturday was also pretty fundamental vinyasa style, all that big flow, all stuff you know done in a difficult way in sequence. So, you know, just getting a little outside the box, but now you're in your comfort zone. Let's keep going, guys. So this is not pyramid. It looks like it, okay? So let's open up left foot to the back of our mat. We are facing forward. This is forehead to knee posture, spinal rounding. You might want your blocks near your feet. I don't want to see the feet too close together, guys. I want at least 3 feet between each foot, okay? Right hip back. You can start with your hands on your knees. You can bend the knee, all right? Now I'm going to go forward. I am going to ask you to round your spine, okay? You were just arching twice. Look, this is chair, and then this is more, it's more of the flat back, right? Arch or round. Right hand on the hip, lengthen forward. Don't forget to bend your knee. Feet are about hips width distance, back toes angle forward, but open slightly. And now I'm starting to tuck. Forehead to knee. Remember, you can bend the knee. If you want more, hands on the blocks, and you're kind of pressing up and back. Squeezing the forehead to knee. It's like a cat posture. You do cat all the time. And I'm asking you to round the spine now, to stretch the back of the neck, the upper back, the shoulders. You're literally trying to touch your forehead to your knee. It's also good, you're like squeezing your thyroid gland in the neck. Okay, go slow. That's a short hold. Let's rise up. And you're basically going to pivot on your feet or step left foot forward, right foot back, second side. So forehead to knee, feet are about hips width distance and about 3 feet apart. Front foot face forward, back foot open slightly. Now remember, if your left leg is forward, you want to pull that left hip back. All right. So you're going to lengthen forward. hinge. So it's like pyramid. You can bend your knee. Then you're going to round, tucking your forehead to your knee. And you got to use your core here to squeeze the forehead to the knee. You should feel this very deep kind of squeezing sensation through the core. Right? A couple postures you're familiar with into one you're not so familiar with. But we do pyramid all the time, so you're semi-familiar with this. So I want you to take your time. Some of you are already exiting, it's a tough one. I know it kind of cuts off airways and things. So you're going to eventually rise up. All right, so we're going to do 2 sets of this. And this is our main, this is a big part of our leg strengthener. It's basically the main one. It's called bent knee triangle. So we're going to go back to straddle. So you're going to open your legs wide now. It's like warrior 2 and side angle, but it's active, okay? So the right toes turn out, the left toes turn to the right. I need a long stride. Come on, yogis. This is a leg intention. We don't have much strength to go. This is kind of like you're winding up here. Feet are squeezing toward each other. Outer edge of feet and big toe heel pressed down. Arms wide, palms forward. Now, side angle, I would rest my thigh and elbow together, right? Watch this here. My right arm goes low, my left arm goes high. Okay, I relax the shoulders. And I start to hinge. I do not rest my arm on the floor of the block. It's a strength. My right hand is a few inches off the floor inside the right foot. My right elbow tricep is pushing the knee open. The knee is pushing. And that left arm is up. I'm looking up. I'm pressing my feet down, lengthening my core, pushing the knee open, lengthening up. Bent knee strengthening triangle. Come on, let's breathe and work that legs and core. And I can see it looks good, yogis. What do the yogis teachers say? It's like you're squeezing yourself between 2 big pieces of glass, right? You're very narrow and aligned through the body, narrow, right? You're not leaning forward anywhere. Okay, rise up. Nice job there. So switch legs, left toes out, left knee bend, right toes turn kind of forward or in, and right knee straightens. Arms wide, palms forward, left arm down, right arm up. And then you kind of start to hinge. So your left hand hovers, they say 1 inch eventually. Left arm is pushing left knee open, left knee is pushing into arm. Feet are pressing down together. Left side body core is lengthening. Upper body's kind of leaning back slightly. Look up, reach up also, and work all that. Should be a very tough moment. Lengthen the left side waist. All right, and then take your time, exit. We got one more, same thing, second round. Now, remember your, mental, emotional attitude, intentions. I try to remember what an opportunity to stay positive, grateful when you're in that challenge. Okay, here we go. Right toes out, left toes in, reach out. Some of you look like you're already in it. Right hand down, left arm up, and bent knee triangle. Last round, first side. Come on, yogis. Remember your goals here. You want to get strong. This is a beginner pose, full body. Bend that front knee, eventually front thigh parallel to the floor. It's a lot easier said than done. Turn that chest up to the sky. Relax those shoulders a tiny bit. Lengthen the neck. We are trying to look up. Like it's like your chin is against the top shoulder almost, right? Yeah, tough pose. You gotta shake it out sometimes after this. All right, and then let's finish it up with our final side, second round. Right, left knee bends, right leg straight. This takes care of our triangle warrior two side angle area today. Plus you already did straddle. But get into it, yogis. Come on, one last big go here. Next two postures aren't too bad. Does everyone get that visual? It's like the yogis say, I never use this coup, but it makes sense. You're squeezing yourself between two huge sheets of glass. It's like someone squishing you together. So nothing is sticking out behind you, in front of you. You're being squished and stacked better. It's a kind of very traditional yoga quote that I remember now from years ago. You hear all these teachers saying that. Body is still going. All right, half ears look done. Nice job there. So just in case you remember that cue, you're squeezing between two glass. People go like this, right? So if I was squeezing, but this is triangle from a front view. If I was squeezing between two pieces of glass, see how I get very narrow and stack, right? From people stick their butt out and their chest forward, we're going there. All right, nice job. I want to do our nollie today. We haven't done this in a while. If you had a breakfast or too much coffee already, you probably should skip it. But what we're going to do is work on hugging the belly in. You don't have to do it like too extreme, yogis. Think of it like a plank. You're pulling your belly in and holding. On the bottom of your exhale, hold, okay? So hands are going to go on the knees. You got to kind of relax your abdomen for a moment. You don't want to arch the back too much. This is for a healthy gut, okay? So we're going to take that big inhale. You're going to have to exhale maximum. So we work on breathing, bringing the diaphragm low. You're going to exhale maximum, bring the diaphragm high. You got to hold the breath at that point, tuck the chin, which pinches the airway. Pull the belly up and in and try to hold. Remember, you can like push down into your knees, almost even pull your knees up into your hands to help here. Yeah, even like I had two like bigger cups of lemon apple cider vinegar water, but even having like a lot of water changes this, because I usually do this like before and just anything like first thing in the morning. I get, after having a lot of like liquids or anything, it is a little bit more restricted, but you're still getting that memory, okay? So try just like 2 or 3 times. You got to take the big inhale. Some people call it like the fake inhalation. You exhale max, hold the exhale at the bottom, and it's like almost like you're inhaling, but there's no air coming in. So it creates that same, I don't know, it's like a vacuuming up and in, the hollowing of the abdominals. It's a tough thing to explain, right? And figure out at first. You don't want to round your spine too much. Just notice too much like tense in the shoulders and neck. So I got to keep you going here, yogis, but I do want to remind you of that one. It's a really powerful practice it's one of the Shat karmas along with Kapalabhati, Neti, Trakat, the fire, vision. So it's a cleanser in the morning. All right, so final standing pose. We did one balance, bent over. Let's do one balance. Kind of shake it out, yogis. Been a kind of interesting class, to say the least here. So Final standing posture. I am going to teach the standing half lotus. This is a unique release. We don't do it enough. It is for beginners, okay? We're going to do left foot up first. You get into it through tree posture. Left knee lifts, left ankle seals the knee. See that? And I push the heel into the thigh. Now you could just stay there, right? Or keeping the knee joint closed, my right hand takes my left foot, keeping the knee joint closed. I keep repeating that because it's important. I bring that right foot now, left foot, excuse me, in front of the right thigh. I pull it up higher. My right hand goes under, around, up top of the foot, and the knee falls open. All right, I stand up nice and tall. I let the knee fall open. I want to hold the foot. I know you can see my foot won't slide because I can press it there and flex that foot, active. But if the foot slides, you're going to want to hold it. Now, what I don't want to see, guys, is stuff like this, right? Watch, tuck tailbone, lift chest. This is Tadasana posture, okay? It's a unique release, right? It's basically taking pigeon to its second stage because this is pigeon, right? Look, if you were laying on your leg, pigeon, pigeon, and look, and then that's keeping that foot where it is in pigeon, but letting that knee now open, okay? Slowly release, please. Give it a little shake. Tree pose is totally enough if this, for some reason, is not your thing. I don't really do much lotus anymore. I do this one. I don't really do a seated either that much. This is the first one, the easiest. Okay, so knee joint close in tree, left hand on top of right foot, right knee opens, and I'm pushing the hips forward. I'm actively kind of opening this knee. So I'm not lazy, watch. I'm actively opening, okay? Half prayer maybe. Tailbone tuck. All right, when you're done there, yogis, we're in the end of class. So we've done the stretches. We did the quad, like I said, we did straddle, that's hamstrings, inner thighs. And we did figure four. What, we got like a couple minutes left, looking at the clock here, 5 minutes. So what's a stretch you want to do now? If you want to take a sun salutation, that might feel good. Do you want to take a yogi squat or touch your toes? We don't have much time, so what's one stretch you would want to do? If you want to lay on your back, we could do like a hamstring stretch, might be good. A medial rotated stretch could be good. You don't really need to go to plow, we did that. If you want to put a block under your butt, legs up, that might be nice. This is feeling pretty good right now, this medial rotated stretch where the knee's not to the right. We kind of did that in the beginning, remember the movement? But this time you take that off with the right foot on the left knee and knock it in. I'm just asking you to find a little personal release here. This might feel really good. See, my back is tight, so this kind of like hurts right now, but try to breathe into it. Let me give you like 2 minutes to personally close up practice because I didn't give you like too much freedom in a sense today. Oh, nice. Yeah, frog is a good one here, getting those inner thighs open. Oh, yeah, a little more balance work. Yeah, you don't need stretching. So one more minute here, yogis. And you know the deal, we want to make sure we calm the body down, especially after such a interesting class. The more tough or challenging mentally it is, the more we want to settle in the end, okay? And body is still going. You're welcome to stretch for as long as you need and release and do your shavasana on your own. But I'll start cueing you in. Remember, the goal is kind of a comfortable position, dark, quiet, cool, comfortable, still, relaxed. So it's always good to close your eyes and shake it out a little bit. Even seated, I see people practicing seated meditation. Their shoulders look too tense. Shake it out, right? And then it's nice to just take a couple of deep breaths. That kind of shifts the gears mentally. And then practice being more still. Come back to your subtle internal presence in meditation. And try to let the body relax. Try to let the mind relax. It's not really the time for active meditation, right? I do a lot of that, but after the work, find the easiness. Okay, so closing meditation, a few minutes, please.